Today I'm going to show you guys how you can play the lounge style, and the lounge style was one of my ways into jazz music, so I really recommend playing this kind of style because it's very fun if you make it, and it can entertain a lot of people if they're into this kind of music. So without further ado, we're going to have a look at the right hand today. So we're going to have a look at the style of how to play the melody. So first of all, when you play the melody in this lounge style, then you make sure that you play the melody sometimes in different areas at the piano. So sometimes you play here, and sometimes here, and sometimes here. And I like to vary within when I'm playing the music. So when I play, for example, this tune, now the melody is continuing like, but instead of playing the melody and continuing it in the same register, then you transpose it down. And I was also playing in thirds, so that's a common thing to do in this style. So playing in thirds melody. And you can do that, of course, with any tune you want. So if you want to play The Autumn Leaves, but you're mostly playing in thirds with your right hand. And you can also play it in octaves. And you can combine playing in thirds and in octaves. So if you play in octaves and then you add a third one or a third above the bottom note, like this, and then you play the melody. Or you can play in a third step below the top note. So instead of playing like this, you play it like this. And then you can add chromatic notes to the music. So instead of just playing like this, you can add chromatic notes as well. And I'm going to show you. So I was adding a chromatic scale here. And what is very common to do when you play the lounge style is to play arpeggios. So you play a lot of sweet chords with your right hand. And for example, you can do this. So that was an arpeggio. I was playing the same thing, just an octave above, like that. Or you can play this one, for example, a D minor. And then just play those three notes, like that, as quick as you can. And in the context, it will sound like this. So when you play the arpeggios, you can play three notes like this. Just copy. Or you can play four notes. If you want to play a C major 7, for example, you can play. And up to speed, that will sound like this. And you can add a fifth note if you'd like. So you can, for example, play this one or the fourth note within the scale. So, when combining all of these tricks with your right hand, including a lot of stuff with your left hand that we'll talk about later, it will come out like this. While the music is playing, here is a summary. The lounge jazz piano style is often used as background music. Often you can find this music in cafes and weddings and parties, and it often sounds like this in the right setting. Most commonly used names for the lounge style is tafel music, background music, elevator music, and cocktail jazz piano, to mention a few. And whatever you want to call it, it's basically jazz piano played in a smooth way. And I've had a ton of jobs where I play this kind of music, and I think it is a lovely art form, and we should definitely keep this art form alive. In this lesson, I've shown you 7 things that you can add to your right hand when you play the lounge jazz piano style, and in part 2, I will show you 3 essential tricks that you can add to your left hand when you play the lounge piano style. In part 3, I will show you the big picture of the lounge jazz piano style. If you want people to enjoy what you play, it is a smart thing to think through what you do when you play the lounge style. So, in part 3, I will take you through how to do a lounge jazz piano job, what kind of music you should prepare, and more. And in part 4, I will show you other licks and tricks that you can add when you play this kind of music. So, here's the thing. To get to see all of this, I created a free mini jazz piano lounge style course. So, to get your invitation, just click on the link under this video and leave your name and email, and I will send you the invite right now. Also, in the free mini course, I've created several exercises that will make you able to play at least some of what I play. Again, it's all for free. And also, if you are already one of my jazz piano students, you can download even more exercises. If you like this video and want more, please hit like, subscribe and share. And again, I hope to see you at my free lounge jazz piano style course. Until next time, have fun, take care of your music, and I will see you soon.